Welcome to secondmanleadership.com YouTube channel. I am so excited about the next topic. It's talk about leaders in your home, how to resolve a conflict in your home. I will give you some great tips and pointers that you can use in your leadership skills in your home. You can use it for your kids. You can use this tip for your work. You can use your tips for your friends. So stay tuned, all right? I'm going to have this quick introduction, and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching this channel. And I just want to give a shout out to all the folks that helped me rank one of my videos on YouTube. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the subscription. It's a brand new channel. It's only been out for 3 weeks. So I encourage you, please subscribe down below. I'm going to give you a lot of great tips about leadership skills, how to be second man, how to improve your life, how to improve your everyday work environment, how to prove yourself. So I am so excited about this new channel. Of course, the channel is called secondmanleadership.com. And how do I get all this knowledge? I have so much books and reference materials that I'm going to provide for you. It's down in the description. And if you get lost with all the text in the description, just go to secondmanleadership.com. And I'm providing you a lot of good resource, a lot of good books. It will direct you to Amazon. You can download in a Kindle, you can download in the audio, or you can get the hardback. You can read it that way. So the link's down below, and it'll take you directly to Amazon. Of course, you know how to use Amazon. Everybody knows how to use Amazon. But let's get to the topic. Leaders in the home need to make sure know how to resolve a conflict in the home. And like I said in their introduction, you can use these skills with your kids, with your friends, with your coworkers, or in your work environment. You can use these skills in a broad area. And I encourage you, add to these skills. Every leader has a different style. So you can take the basic, simple fundamentals I'm going to teach you and expand on that. And I encourage you as leaders to expand that. In being a leader, one thing that we need to learn is not to yell, not to scream when it comes to issues or conflict. And as leaders, we need to make sure that we're not always right. A good proverbs I use in the Bible is soft words turn away wrath. If you use soft words in your communication, there's not going to be yelling and screaming. So number one, make sure you use soft words. Make sure you're when you communicate, you're not yelling, you're not screaming. I know it's going to be hard. I know. Okay? I've been there yelling and screaming. So I know it's very difficult because you're trying to get your point across, or you're trying to, you know that you're right on the subject, and the other person thinks you're not right. So you got that argument going. Couple things. Number one, if you feel that yelling and screaming coming along, do a written communication. What do you mean? You grab a paper, a pen, two of you grab it, you sit down and you write out the problem. So for example, if one of the main issues are that I need help with the housework. I can't do this all by myself. Why are you lazy? Why you cannot do this? Why you cannot help with the laundry? Why you can't help with the dishes? Or why you can't help with this? Hey, why the kids are lazy, and just all this conflict coming up. Sit down and do a written communication. So what you do is you grab a piece of paper and pencil and you write down the problem. So the problem is that you need help with the housework duties. Or the problem is the kids are just not going to bed on time. Or the problem is that when you get home, you're not helping out. Write it down. Why do you want to write it down? Because if the same problem coming back up again, you could address it. And you can say like this, well, we discussed A, B, and C on the last issue. And here is the piece of paper. We discussed that we're doing it this way. We discussed we're doing it this way. We're going to discuss to do it this way. On the written communication, you can come up with a problem, or you could solve it and post it. For example, I've been married for 25 years, and then my wife passed away. Then I remarried. During those 25 years of remarriage, I learned how to communicate, because I used to be very angry when I communicate. I used to be very dominant communicate. And the skills that I'm going to show you will help you to slow down, will help you to communicate, it will help you to lower the wrath down for a little bit. Two things you need to do. You always want to do a written communication and a verbal communication. Like I said, written communication, write down the problem. So if you have a problem like this, I need help with the housework, and you're not doing enough, you're lazy, then you want to repeat back to your partner, to your wife, to your friend, to your coworker, and you could say, the problem is I not helping around the house. Is that what you're saying? Yes, it is. See how it is? See what I did? I was listening to the problem. I put the word I instead of me trying to give excuses. When you argue with somebody, don't give excuses. Always repeat back the problem. So the problem is, I am not helping enough around the house. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Great. Now the next question is, the reason why, then you will say back to your partner, the reason why I'm not helping around the house because I've been working 10, 12, 13 hours a day. Then she will turn around and say, the reason why you're not helping around the house is you're working 10, 12 hours. Is that correct? See how the communication is going back and forth? You are repeating it back and forth. Not only you register in your brain, but you're also understanding each other without yelling and screaming. You could take it one step further. You could write it down. Best way to write it down is you can reference back if the same issue is coming back over and over again. That's one of the issues I had. I used to work 10, 12 hours a day. I'm in the military. I was in the military. I put 22 years in. So when I get home, I am just worn out. I am beat. I am sore. And I just don't feel like doing anything. And she was working, and she's putting 8, 9, 10 hours. The housework was not getting done. So we sat down, and we came up with this great idea. She took a piece of paper, I took a piece of paper, and we wrote out the problem. Her problem was I'm not putting enough time in the house. My problem is that I work 10, 12, 13 hours a day. So it's hard for me to do chores in the house. After we went back and forth, repeating back and forth, we came up a resolution that I could do chores list. And I posted it on the refrigerator to remind me to help her with the chores. See, now we did a written communication and we did a verbal communication. I understand her needs. I repeat back what her problem. She understood my needs, and she repeated back to me. Now, with kids has a tendency to speak loud. Kids has a tendency to get their input and always constantly interrupt the parents. Best way to resolve this problem is find a talking stick or a talking object. So for example, if I use this as a talking object, if I have this in my hand, then it's my turn to speak. Then when I'm done speaking, I'm going to give it to you, and you can speak, and your dad or your mom will listen to you. Every kid trying to express their feelings. And this is great when the kids have ADH or just very active type of person, or is it also there have special needs person. This is a great tool to have a talking stick or a talking object. So when the talking object is in my hand, I have the floor. Then when I speak, then the other side needs to repeat back to me. So if I give this talking stick to the child, then he has the floor and I listen and I repeat back the problem. And that will right there will eliminate the yelling and the screaming. So my son, he was a very outgoing person, always express his mind. So every time he wants to express his opinion, his mind, or he's frustrated with something, he went and grabbed the talking stick. That tells me that he is frustrated, and that tells me that he wants to talk to me about something. Now, when he grabs the talking stick or the talking object, all right, rule number one is you got to talk softly. That's one of the rules. No yelling, no screaming. And when you talk, you have to slow down. I'm telling you, it works. Especially if two parents are arguing really loud, I promise that kid will grab that talking stick and say, Mom and Dad, one of you guys need to have the floor. Here you go. It shows that one person talks at a time. So that means you're not talking over each other. So number one, always repeat the problem back. So that means you're paying attention and you understand the problem. The other partner, the other side, needs to repeat back what the issue and the problem is too. Secondly is have a written communication and how do you resolve that problem. So if you have to go back to the problem or it recurs again, you have a written statement of what was said during the discussion. So you won't be playing this game, hearsay, she said, you said this, I said this, no, I meant this. No, we have it down on a piece of paper. You have it down on your piece of paper, you have it down on my piece of paper, and at the end of the discussion, it matches. Because why? You're repeating it down and you're writing it down. So this way you have a reference to go back to, because like me, I'm going to forget what I said. Just like you're going to forget what you said. That's why you want to have a written communication and a verbal communication. And that's why you want to have a talking stick for your kids, or you might want to use it for yourself. No, seriously. I have this, I have the floor, let me speak my mind. Then when I'm done, I'll give it to you and you will have the floor and I will listen. The last thing is make sure when you communicate with a soft voice. At the end of the discussion, you will have a resolution. Now, sometimes that resolution, you might have to bend a little bit on the resolution, but together you will come up with a resolution and an answer. Make sure you write it down. I have a journal. It works. That means you can reference what you talked about. Write it down. If you're having a major issues about chores, write it down. Have that answer already filled out. Then you can go back and say, oh, that's right. That's what you said. Oh, that's why. That's what you said. Oh, see, now you just solve another problem. You just solved another problem. You just went back to the original answer. So the discussion the second time around is so easy to discuss. So I hope these tips are helpful for you. So number one, make sure you talk softly. Make sure soft words turn away wrath. Number two, make sure you repeat back the problem and don't say the word we. Always says the word I. I am not able to do the chores because or I am sorry, I failed you. Always put I instead of we. And the last thing is, if their conflict is still getting out of hand, have a talking stick for your kids or even for you, and it works. So I hope this was a quick guidelines of leadership in your home. I'm asking you to comment below. Let me know what you have done in the past resolving conflict. I want to know. I'm always want to improve my leadership skills. I always want to improve my knowledge. And I know everybody out there has great leadership skills. Everyone out there has ways of resolving problems. I want to hear about it. So comment below, comment this way, whatever, what social media platform, comment, like it, subscribe, and grab those reference books on how to be a great leader in your home. All that stuff is down in the description. And if you get lost on everything, just go to secondmanleadership.com. Go directly to the website, look at it, and follow me on all the social media platforms. Again, I realize that I am not the best speaker. I get it. I realize I probably don't have all the answer, or this whole vlog segment is just, what in the world he's talking about? I know, I am new at this. But however, I just want to share with you some knowledge that I have done in the past. I used a talking stick just for me only. So when I hand it off to someone, I know that's not my turn. I use it as an adult. It works for me. I know that I need to keep my mouth closed and repeat back the issue to her or to my partner. And it's great for the kids. I'm telling you, use the talking stick. Put it on refrigerator. So when they grab it, they know they come to you. They have a problem. They disagree with you with something, and they're talking to you in a softly manner. So once they grab that, rule number 1 is soft tone. Rule number 2, that they have the floor. Then when they're done, they'll hand it off to me, and I'm going to tell them, hey, that course was wrong, and this is the reason why it's wrong. And we'll talk a whole new segment, how to deal with kids in the leadership in home. That's a whole different new topic. All right, thank you for listening. I want to wrap this up. 17 minutes. Subscribe, comment, like, and go to secondmanleadership.com. Grab all the reference material. It will take you directly to Amazon. And last thing, if you have a technique about leadership in your home and how you resolve conflict, I want to hear about it. I'm always learning, okay? Talk to you guys later. And thank you so much for helping me to rank one of my videos. I really appreciate it. All right? See you guys later. Bye.